Python is like this cool, approachable person who always has your back, and once you start learning it, there's no going back. You with me? Cool. So, at its core, Python is a language that has made it super easy for developers, especially for us freshers, to write software that not only looks good but does things properly too. And we are all about doing things the right way, right? Python has become the go-to language in areas like data science, machine learning, and web development, but let's start from day one with some fundamentals. Remember when you first got introduced to your first friends at school and that feeling of building something together? That's what coding languages like Python offer, a sense of camaraderie and connection to world-class software. Imagine you want to create a simple program like a calculator. You just input your numbers, and the program does the math for you, kind of like how you'd tell a trusty friend about the week, expecting the best picks and stories in return. Python's syntax is intuitive, so the lines of code should feel as easy as chatting with a pal. Let's take a deeper dive and talk about matrices. If you are a newbie, I know they sound super intimidating, like facing the math monster straight on. But trust your inner programmer and tackle it with Python, and you'll realize they're just friends in disguise, waiting to be made buddies. Matrices come with a lot of computational power, and they're everywhere in real-world applications. Imagine having the ability to reshape and manipulate them, like molding clay into different sculptures or shapes. Coding in Python comes with several built-in tools. But to really dig into reshaping matrices, here's where we need NumPy, an open-source library that's the Swiss Army knife for Python coders dealing with arrays, matrices, and all sorts of numerical computing. NumPy is like the best friend who's amazingly good not just with gadgets, but also really knowledgeable about sciencey stuff. So, to reshape a matrix, which is a fancy term for any grid of numbers, you are basically saying, hey Python, reorganize this into something that makes more sense for my task in hand. You could change the perspective from rows and columns that look chaotic to ordered rows and columns that form a neat, well-defined structure, much like tidying up your room but way less sweaty. And hey, we could even go beyond simple 2D arrays to 3D or even 4D ones, each layer packed with your own unique data like a stack of different, yet connected, rooms in the same house. Let's say we have this little matrix that looks like this in Python. Import numpy as np matrix is equal to np.array, and you, being the clever coder you are, want to change it into a 2x3 matrix. New underscore shape is equal to reshape underscore matrix is equal to matrix.reshape. Before you know it, you've got a new shape, and it's like we just transformed a two-way street into a four-way intersection, making way for more directions and possibilities. Beyond that, Python's reshape function allows you to change the matrix not only in rows and columns, but also its dimensions, like a cater all rearranging couches and tables in a room to change the atmosphere without moving the furniture. Reshaped underscore matrix is equal to matrix.reshape. Now you have a 3x2 matrix, and it's like giving a group hug where there used to be a handshake. And of course, if at any time the total number of elements are different, Python would tell you something's off, with something smashing his keyboard in frustration. But don't worry, there's always a way, a workaround, and that's part of the art, finding new paths to the same goal. Sounds fun, doesn't it? Now imagine applying these concepts in web development, data science, and machine learning projects where Python acts like a reliable copilot, guiding you through treacherous data landscapes and making sense of the noise with clear signals. We learn, and just like that, we are not only IT freshers, but also Python gurus ready to make our own mark. And remember, while we are coding our own world, we gotta keep the environment friendly too. Python and NumPy provide efficient handling of reshaping, which is a kind of computational efficiency. We are doing things fast, responsibly, and consciously. Our code, much like our carbon footprint, should be as minimal as possible, yet maximal in purpose and impact. To sum it up, with Python handling reshaping, we are not just learning to cook up some Python code, we are mastering how to reshape entire worlds of data on demand. And each time we do, our understanding of the Python language deepens, and our confidence as IT freshers skyrockets. Now, if only all the rest of our non-coding skills were as smooth, eh? Alright, you are definitely one step ahead now, but practice makes perfect, my friend. Keep reshaping, keep exploring, and one of these days you might lead a reshaping conference. Before we part ways, don't forget to give a follow to TechLab for more adventures in tech. Visit neeraj.qzz.io and subscribe for tutorials that would turn even coding legends green with envy. Until next time, happy coding!